he criticize Brady in front of the teams or show plays in which Brady messed up? Sure, absolutely. But that's something entirely different than offering a critique or a harsh critique in the public's view. I believe he misses that, Skip. He misses the structure. He misses the discipline of not getting penalties, of not jumping off sides, of not doing certain things that cost your team wins. He used to being in situations where the other teams made those mistakes that cost them a victory, as opposed to being on a team that's doing those things that's costing us victory. So I believe there are aspects. Does he miss the person, Coach Belichick? Absolutely not. Does he miss the structure and the discipline that Coach Belichick provided? Absolutely. But I'm sure there are some things that he likes about being in Tampa. Maybe it's the weather, Skip. Maybe maybe the way they practice is a little different and you get more time off. I don't know, but I know he misses structure. When you've been, Skip, it's kind of like the military. When you've been in the military for an extended period, let's imagine Tom Brady was in the military for 20 years. When you're in the military for 20 years, your bed is made up every morning. Certain things are put in certain. My grandfather believed in that. He was in the military, so he structured everything was about discipline.
Yep.
That's what Tom had for 20 years. You just can't turn that off, Skip.
Yep.
And they're asking Brady to look. It's a new sheriff in town. Guys jumping outside. They're like, "What the hell is this?" Guys getting penalties, dumb penalties. You're like, "What?" And you're not gonna say anything about that because Coach Belichick would have missed. If an offensive lineman had done what that lineman did in Chicago, Coach Belichick would have made him at midfield and put his foot in his butt.
Yep.
But he would have known because Coach Belichick has gone through that situational football. In situations like this, we can't afford to have that happen. So I'm sure there are things that Tom Brady misses about New England. I'm just not so sure it's Coach Belichick.
So I'll go one level deeper here. I definitely think Tom Brady misses Bill Belichick, the head coach. He does not miss Bill, the general, top to bottom.
Right.
And he slowly but surely left the cupboard barer and barer.
That happened on his watch.
And at times it felt, as I told you, that word I sort of created, it felt a little sabotagey. I didn't think he wanted Tom to succeed because he wanted the bulk of the credit. So he's getting more and more exposed as a team builder because last night I'm feeling sorry for poor Cam Newton. He's throwing to an undrafted kid out of North Carolina State who played quarterback in college, and he's also throwing and handing to little Gunnar Olszewski, right?
Yeah.
Out of Bemidji, whatever it's called,
State.
She knows, state, and upstate Minnesota, right?
4 hours north.
4 hours north,
of Minneapolis.
says Jenny Taft.
In Canada, basically.
Okay.
I used to have a cabin up there.
And remember,
come on, guys.
Gunnar was cut and out until they got so desperate at receiver. There's no Edelman now. There's no N'Keal Harry. That they brought back little Gunnar. And they were running jet sweeps like crazy to little Gunnar last night. He's not bad. But again,
Demir Byrd had 9 targets.
he had 9 targets. And he's turning Jacoby Myers into a star, right?
He is.
What do you have, 169? Whew. So that's all you got. And trust me, Tom's watching the game. He's feeling for Cam. He says, I know. I know how that feels.
Yeah.
I was trying to overcome that last year. The offensive line's not bad. I think it's pretty much, I think it's on par with what Tom has worked with in Tampa. But the rest of it, the skill position, the weapons, it's not even close.
No, it's not.
Okay? So what he's missing now, especially today, after that salvo from Bruce Arians yesterday directed at Brady, he's missing, as you say, structure. He's missing credibility because one thing about Belichick is he's always coaching. It's 24/7. He is no stone left unturned before a game, where every little T is crossed and I is dotted, where your preparation is supreme, where when you step on the field 2 hours before the game, you know it is done. Whatever you could do to get as right as you could get, it is done. And with Bruce Arians, I don't think it feels done to Tom.
I think the biggest thing that Tom Brady misses about Coach Belichick is calm. You lose, the sky isn't falling. It almost seems like every time you lose with BA, Skip, the sky's falling. Oh, we did this, and we had this guy. Coach Belichick say, we lost. We got to do everything better. We got to play better. We got to coach better. We got to tackle better. We got to do everything better.
Okay.
It's not one specific thing.
What happened back in 2014 on that Monday night? What was it, 41-14?
41-14.
At Kansas City, it's just death and destruction, doom and gloom. all the guys on ESPN are saying, that's it for Tom Brady. Poor Tom Brady, it's over for him. And what was Bill's classic all-time line? We are on to Cincinnati.
But the thing was, but remember they asked him at the press conference at the end of the game, are you thinking about making a quarterback switch?
Yeah, okay.
And Coach Belichick.
No.
Next question.
But on to Cincinnati.
Correct.
So they go home the next Sunday and destroy a pretty good Cincinnati team at that point. I think it was 43
they beat the brakes
14.
Off.
It was in that ballpark.
Yes.
And it launched them toward the Super Bowl that they won against the Legion of Boom in Seattle. Okay, so now you have Bruce Arians, to me, coming off as, for people around the league, insiders, as a little buffoonish. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
What purpose does it, what good does it do for your football team to take little sarcastic shots at the GOAT quarterback?
Right.
Where's it going to get you toward your make-or-break game Sunday against a division rival at Carolina? Gets you nowhere.
Right. Especially this, Skip, the thing I think, one of the things that a coach, one of the best attributes a coach can have is calmness.
Yep.
Is that the ebbs and flow. He doesn't get involved with the ebbs and flow. It's not like the sky's falling if we lose and we won the Super Bowl if we win. That's what Coach Belichick handles that. The great ones handle that. You've been around Coach Landry. I didn't know Coach Landry. Now, I've been around some coaches that if you lost the game, like, I don't know what we're going to do. Ooh, how we overcome that. But the really good ones is just here.
Yep.
They don't, it's not like the, up and down like the stock market. And Coach Belichick, that's what Tom missed. Coach Belichick provided a calmness that I'm not so sure he's getting that in BA. Now, I don't know what the practice structure is or the meeting structure or guys allowed to come late, this and that. But you best believe when Mike Shanahan stepped up to that podium, everybody was in their seats. It was simple as that. When Mike Shanahan was on that field, because he was at one end and we had walkthroughs, we were there. Hey, down at Bullseye. And one day, Skip, we supposed to be dressed and guys started coming out there with flip-flops and Tim's on. Man, Mike looked around and was like, what the hell y'all think this is? Go back inside and put on the proper attire to come for a walkthrough. Okay. That was the end of that.
Got it. All right. The Brady I defend, the Brady that I admire, is as coachable a superstar as I've ever observed in your league, the National Football League, where he wants to be coached hard, but he wants to be coached hard behind closed doors.
Right.
He doesn't want it publicly, nor would you have wanted it publicly.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But with Belichick was all over him, according to numerous sources I've talked to in film sessions. He would single out Brady and call him Brady, not Tom. He's Brady.
Right.
And blast him in front of everybody because he knew Brady would take it.
Right.
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't know if Belichick cared whether he'd take it or not. That's just the way it was going to be.
Right.
He would stop practice and blast him in front of everybody because he's Bill Belichick. And he could get away with it because Brady would let him get away with it.
Skip, Tom loved what Coach Belichick was able to do for him. But I bet if you put Tom in that chair and you told him you got to tell the truth or else, he'd probably say he wished Coach Belichick would have just given him some credit publicly. So Tommy played good. And we're not just say Tommy played good and then preface it by saying, we had a lot of guys play good. Or we had a lot of guys do this. Just say, you know what? Tom was unbelievable today. Like all the other coaches have done with their superstar players when they play well.
What was the beginning of the end between those two? It was Jacksonville, AFC Championship game. Brady, whether it was an accident at home or, as they said, an accident on the football field during practice with Rex Burkhead on a handoff, it split open the palm of his throwing hand, and he said it took 20-some stitches.
Right.
That was on Wednesday. And he played Sunday against what was then called Saxonville, and they were trailing 20-10 going to the fourth quarter, and he threw for 138 and 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter alone, and they roared back to win the game and go to the Super Bowl to face Philadelphia.
Right.
After the game, Belichick was asked about how great that was, whatever, and he said it wasn't exactly open heart surgery, right? And I believe that was the beginning of the end because soon after they lost to Philly, and Tom threw a playoff record 505 yards, and they lost 41-33 when Belichick's defense, without Malcolm Butler, gave up 41 to the backup quarterback for the Eagles. Tom came out here and did a conference in Santa Monica with Jim Gray, and he was asked, do you feel like Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft give you the appropriate gratitude? And he said, I plead the fifth.
Well, he wanted what he really wanted to say, what Mr. Kraft does, but Coach Belichick, no.
Okay, so there you go. And I was told by several sources close to Brady that he always chuckled, sort of sarcastically, that Belichick never would socialize with him. They never had a dinner together. They never had a golf date to play together that wasn't forced on them, because once they played, they were paired together at Pebble Beach.
Right.
Okay, but that didn't count like it would have to go to a course in New England in the summer.
Right.
And let's just the two of us play golf.
Right.
Well, it's Belichick being the general saying arm's length.
Right.
You know, I don't want to have any personal relation.
Well, I think the thing also, Skip, you remember when the Deflategate happened, they asked Coach Belichick, I don't know about no basketball. Ask Tom.
Okay, well, he called his own press conference on the Saturday before they left to go to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And he threw his quarterback straight under the bus.
Like, I don't know about Tom. Hey, ask Tom.
him. I don't know anything about you. Don't? you know everything.
Now, after he said, hey, I wet the balls down, I do this, I freeze them, I do all the things so we be used to it, but he don't know nothing about no balls.
Well, he even went my cousin Vinny because he said I'm no Mona Lisa DeVito, right?
Vito, yep.
She knew everything about cars, which said